Everybody has an experience of being different in a room, regardless of who you are. And how do you use that to your benefit? And how do we think about ways to bring more differing perspectives into a room? I'm Jess Meschino, and I'm currently the SVP of Customer Services at Workable.
I am Chiara and Giampietro, and I'm a sales consultant at Workable, going into my first full year here.
I think it's really not thinking about yourself as an outsider in the room in a negative way, but thinking about why your experience sets you apart and is different and trying to bring that to the table.
Having more than 20% of people in the room and having greater success because you're hearing from all of these different voices. I think we have a lot of great examples of that on the different teams at Workable too, making sure that everyone's heard.
If you look at everyone's difference in backgrounds, if you're clear on what you are working on and what others are working on, and you're able to collaborate and bring all of that together, definitely find much more success. And you're not short-sighted. I think sometimes when people put all of the same people in a room, they're limited.
It's almost as if that outsider status benefits you in that sense. It allows you to see what's right, wrong, or broken and speak up for it because you have a perspective that's different than others. It's not supposed to be a melting pot where everyone ends up in a cohesive thing. It's more of a mosaic. There's all these different pieces, but it comes to form something great. Seeing gaps that you wouldn't have seen before. All these different ideas at the table makes your product better.
You don't always speak up when you should because you think you don't know it as well as someone else, but you really are the person who gets it. So I think that takes a little bit of experience and exposure. Understanding the dynamic of a room is also very important because you might find that you're outgunned in a room. Then you really need to know what you're talking about because when you're able to add that value, you get listened to. And sometimes you have to repeat yourself a few times. I've always tried to find mentors. I think a lot of the experience I built up, I had strong female leaders, I had strong male leaders. I was encouraged to speak up when I knew what I was talking about.
It wasn't as common for someone who was that other status to seek out people to uplift and bring to the table with them. Yeah. And that mentality is shifting now. It's more of a community and making sure that if you have a voice, use it for the right thing.
Make sure that you do create a sense of community where people feel safe asking for help. The challenge with that is you've also got these communities where people want to tell you how to do the thing. It's really important that you find someone that lets you be who you are and can help you think through what you're doing, what you could be doing different, how you could do things as you move forward, and ask the right questions more than tell you things.
That's true inclusion, right? Is asking questions, opening opportunities, and also guiding.
Challenge becomes when we have younger generations coming up, we want people to see, however they identify, that there's opportunity for them to be seen, recognized, reach the level of success that they're after, whatever that might be. And so that becomes important that they do see themselves in those positions when they look at websites or when they look on LinkedIn or when they're interviewing for a job. Until that happens, then people might feel limited. And so you've got those folks that pioneer ahead of them to make sure that this happens. But it's not so much about we need to have 50% of leadership be female or we have to have this many minority or what have you.
It extends so far beyond gender, it's identities. Having a representation of every identity at the table so that everyone sees, okay, this is achievable for me.
The way I got my foot in the door was by willing to do a job that no one else was willing to do. And I'd say if you were to look at my career trajectory, it's probably been what I've adopted to continue to move forward. It's really more about just making sure everybody understands that if you work hard, you can create opportunity for yourself. It's also on the person to recognize what environments are healthy for them and what environments aren't. Even if there's all of this equality, it's still where do you grow best, and that self-awareness, and that takes some time to gain.
For someone starting out in their career, the opportunities will present themselves to you, and you can't have a roadmap because you don't know what's going to come down the pipe and you don't know who you're going to meet. And I think a lot of young people feel this pressure to really map out their life before they get there.
When I started out, the hope was at some point to become a VP somewhere. Like I thought that would be my ceiling. What I found, though, is when I got into the workplace, I enjoyed the recognition of solving problems no one else wanted to take on, or people had looked at them and they couldn't solve them. And if you asked me when I graduated college if I thought I'd end up here. No, I had no idea. It's important as individuals that you find what drives you and what makes you want to do something day after day and not worry so much about the end goal.
Everyone has an opportunity to learn. And true inclusion is highlighting where our strengths lie and recognizing your own gaps and seeing how others have that strength and working together.
If you're the smartest person in the room, you're in the wrong room. Not being threatened by difference and welcoming people who want to collaborate with you and bring differing opinions makes us stronger. And that can be tough sometimes if you've got your own idea of how something should be, to be mature enough to say, wait a minute, if we're really all focused on the same thing and they've got this other perspective, you want to make sure that you're really looking for the opportunities for people to bring that otherness in.